I invest in these companies and they pay me a monthly dividend. It's like an income and I'm getting paid by that company. You know what the problem is? When that dividend company starts doing layoffs of its dividend recipients. Do you know that they don't have to pay you that? And that just like any other company, they can decide not to and to scale back on that in order to keep more of the money for what they feel they need it for. Friends, this is Colin Richards once again, and I'm coming to you here on Lord and Richard Show, and we are excited to be walking our friends today on the radio through the vital things that we need to address if you want to achieve retirement freedom. Whether you were already retired or looking forward to it in the future, what we do at Lord and Richards is come alongside of you and help you develop a plan so that you can retire without worry, retire with confidence. And so we've been discussing the hierarchy of freedoms that you need. You need to strive for happiness. That's what we're all looking for. But to achieve the kind of happiness that you desire in retirement, we need freedom of time. We need to be able to get free of our job, free from whatever keeps us from doing the things that are most fulfilling, most rewarding, that expose us to the relationships where we find love and belonging and esteem and fulfillment and purpose. And so whatever that is for you, whether it's traveling more, spending time with family, volunteering, doing your hobbies, just sitting on the deck, enjoying one another, I want you to achieve retirement freedom in the form of happiness. But we're going to have to get free of the job. And so whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you work full-time for somebody else, you've got to get free of it, right? An entrepreneur can maintain ownership and be free, but they're going to have to shift gears and become not an operator, not just an owner, but even just an investor where other people are running your company for you. And so you need a kind of freedom we call freedom of income to get that freedom of time so that you can spend the time doing what you love. And we are talking about some of the non-guaranteed, non-abundant tools that well-meaning folks sometimes employ when trying to help folks like you to achieve this freedom of time and freedom of income. And one of those is portfolio withdrawals, which we discussed in our last segment. And the problem is they're non-guaranteed. They are extremely susceptible to market downturns and can actually lead to a high rate of failure. Another area where folks sometimes look that's non-guaranteed and non-abundant, as we're referring to, that means it gives you kind of a sense of full retirement income freedom, is dividend stocks. Okay, now sometimes folks just love these and believe in these. I invest in these companies and they pay me a monthly dividend. It's like an income and I'm getting paid by that company. You know what the problem is? When that dividend company starts doing layoffs of its dividend recipients. Do you know that they don't have to pay you that? And that just like any other company, they can decide not to and to scale back on that in order to keep more of the money for what they feel they need it for. Also, their profits can change and fluctuate. There is a great risk not only of reduced or eliminated dividends, but even the underlying stock failing. Not only a zero dividend, but maybe a problem with the stock. Some notable dividend failures in the past have been companies that we normally would have associated with great strength and stability, like General Motors, Kodak, JCPenney, Barnes & Noble, Washington Mutual, Citi, right? One of the biggest banks in the world. So dividends, though they may be used to supplement, should not be primary. We do not want to subject your standard of living to a board's decision-making, folks. You've got to get away from that mentality. Too much risk. We're trying to have a guaranteed risk-free, abundant solution. CD laddering. Some of you might say, I got a chance now to invest in CDs. It's the first time in ages that they've actually paid decent rates. My point exactly. I think you just made it. Okay. Historically, we're not getting great rates. So a CD ladder is at best a short-term strategy where you can get a little bit of money on your protected money in the CD, certificate of disappointment, I call it, but it doesn't usually keep up with inflation. And then fourth, a very popular one, especially if you're in a hot market like the Denver area, is real estate rental income. And again, these are all legitimate, but they should be considered supplemental and not primary. You should seek to have your standard of living backed and guaranteed, not subject to the whims of the market. You see, The real estate market is a market. It's a place where people buy and sell and trade. And it has similar risks to any other market, like the stock market, okay? And so we can't view that as a guarantee. Now, when we're working with our clients with real estate rentals and they're getting income, that's great. But we always back that up. We use other resources in the portfolio in case they don't get the income that they want because of vacancies and so forth. Some problems include a low net income after your management fees. Most people, if you have debt or if you pay management fees, really could do better in other kinds of investments that would give you a higher income stream. Now, if you self-manage, of course, you're going to save money, but now you have what we're trying to get free of. You have a job. So I really hope this is what you envision spending your time doing in retirement. But if it's not, you will experience burnout, which means less freedom of time, which brings me back to the question, why are you still working, right? So rental income, unless it's managed and you're willing to take that cut to your income, is not going to remove the obstacle in the way between point A, I'm working now, but I want more freedom of time, and point B, when you have ultimate freedom of time, the ability to really enjoy being with others. Now, in our next segments, we're going to talk further about the solutions you need to obtain freedom of time and the freedom of income that will get you there so that you can achieve and pursue the happiness that you deserve and desire. But in the meantime, here's what I'm going to ask you to do, okay? I'm going to ask you to come in and conduct a retirement freedom review. You see, at Lord & Richards, we're not just specialists in the years in which you're accumulating in savings. We are distribution specialists. We're specialists in the years when you need income so that you can have the freedom of time that you deserve and want. And folks, I'd love to sit down with you. My team and I would love to talk to you. It simply starts with a phone call.